Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Take You to School with Dr. Tom Prichard. I am your host at JP John Poz for the two-man power trip. Of course, joining me, the star of the show, the former WWE World Tag Team Champion, one of the greatest trainers ever in the history of the business, the Doctor of Desire, Dr. Tom Prichard. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, John. I hope you are too.
I am doing good. I don't know if you heard, but I guess some sad news to report. Bobby Duncum Sr. passed away
I
at
did.
the
Yeah, I did hear that.
ripe old age of 81.
Yeah, I went on my first Japanese tour with Bobby Duncum Sr. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I sure did, and he was good to me on that tour too. So that was the only time I was ever around him, but he was a nice guy.
Man, some lineage there, obviously, big legacy, just as far as that area, those Texas boys, those West Texas boys. He's just another in a long line of legends.
No, he was born in Austin, Texas, I think, and then so it would be East Texas pretty much. But yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So I think maybe he went to school in West Texas.
yeah,
Hell, I don't
he
know.
went to
Yeah,
West Texas A&M. That was his college.
yeah. Okay, so that was West Texas State before it was West Texas A&M. Yeah. So I think that's when he went. But yeah, big guy, nice guy. And yeah, I had a good time for the 6 weeks I was in Japan with him.
Did you ever work Bobby Duncombe Jr. Ever? Did you ever?
No, no, that was I think when he was in WCW, I was in WWF or
Yep.
WWE. Yeah. So
Figured might have crossed paths in Japan, but probably not.
no, never
I
with
know.
Junior. No.
So he actually, Bobby Duncombe Sr., was actually drafted, technically speaking, to the old St. Louis Cardinals in the old NFL AFL draft back in '67. Did play a couple games in '68 with the Cardinals. So obviously he was pretty damn good in West Texas A&M for the Buffaloes. Played there for a couple years, got drafted, played for the Cardinals, and then decided to get into the arena of pro wrestling. Big dude too, big guy.
Big guy. He went. Did you ever have a run in New York?
Yeah, kind of. I guess you could say really two runs because he feuded a little bit with Bruno, and then he feuded a little bit with Bob Backlund.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, he had the perfect temperament for it. I think he was a big, strong, believable heel.
They love those like Southern Cowboys versus Bruno. You know what I mean? Like Watts feuded with him. What's it? Stan Hansen feuded with. Like they love that those big like Southern guys versus Bruno.
Well, it fit. I mean, they were good coming in as the heels, and Bruno was the epitome of what a babyface should be, and especially up on the East Coast.
I feel like maybe people may know him more though, maybe for AWA with Blackjack Lanza and Bockwinkel and Stevens and those guys. And of course, he was part of the Heenan family. I think maybe that's another thing people maybe remember him the most for.
Yeah, I think so. But Bobby hadn't been in the spotlight for a long time, so I mean, yeah, I don't know what he'd been doing lately or where he was when he died, but it's going to come to us all one day.
Former AWA World Tag Team Champion with Blackjack Lanza. And he was obviously in Florida. He was in the Mid Atlantic Championship Wrestling. I mean, he was in Georgia Championship Wrestling, NWA, with the Western States. I mean, he was everywhere. Big territory guy, like I mentioned, AWA, and of course WWWF. So he wrestled everywhere.
Yeah, I saw him work in Texas in the '70s when I was a kid. So yeah, nice guy.
And obviously, you got booked with him in Japan. Was that through Dory?
No, that was through California, and it was 1981, I think. So yeah, it was through Mike LaBelle.
Did you get in the ring with him and wrestle him at all, or there was just you were on the same tour?
No, no, I think I was in some six mans with him. I don't recall, but him and Bad News, Alan Coage took care of me in Japan, and so did the Samoans. Bad News, the Samoans, and Bobby Duncum Sr. Um, Trying to remember who else was on that tour, but those are the guys that I really remember. I was just a young punk.
Inoki. So you wrestled Antonio Inoki, Kimura, and Fujinami. They beat you, Bobby Duncombe Sr., and Ken Patera.
Oh, Patera was there too. Yeah, I remember that
Wow,
one.
what a team. You, Patera, and Duncombe. Look at that.
Yeah, 21 years old.
And then basically the next night, Inoki, Hoshino, and Ricky Choshu, another legend, defeated you, Bobby Duncum, and Bad News Allen, aka Bad News Brown. Wow! So look at that. You're on some teams here.
Yeah, pretty cool.
And I don't know if you'll remember this or not. Southwest Championship Wrestling. You teamed up with Bobby Duncum in 1981. Do you remember that at all?
I don't remember that.
So Randy Tyler and Tank Patton beat you guys in 15 minutes in San Antonio in 1981. Wow.
Well, there you have it.
Look at that. Yeah. So you were in 3 different matches with Bobby Duncum. That's pretty remarkable there. I wouldn't even have thought that at all. I didn't even think about the 81 New Japan tour that you were on with him.
Yeah. Well,
look at that.
It was my first tour of Japan, and they made it memorable. That's for sure.
Did you drink a lot of sake?
No, but I drank a lot of beer.
What kind of beer do they have over there? Is like some Japanese import, or do they actually have American beer?
Well, they have American beer, but we drank at Sapporo and Kirin.
Good stuff.
It was beer. It was Japanese beer. It was very good.
Nice. All right. Nice. So, at the ripe age of 81, there, R.I.P. Bobby Duncum Sr. Now, kind of maybe something a little bit lighter here after, the sad passing of a wrestling legend there. Here is something very weird. I don't know if you saw this or caught this online, but AAA, obviously it's on Fox now, Fox Latino, so it's on the Spanish-Mexican version of Fox. The production, unbelievable through the roof. You can actually watch it on WWE's YouTube channel with Corey Graves and JBL on commentary. Rey Mysterio did some commentary as well. Conan is a little bit under the weather, so he was not in the booth there for that. But, man, the production value was great. The show was great. It flew by. The matches were good. The crowd was really into it. They did a nice little storyline with Omos, Dorian Roldan, and Vikingo, creating a nice little heel stable at the end. They also had a very, very cool video package with Dominic, who's injured. But, man, just awesome stuff. But the one thing people notice about this video package is sometimes when you use AI, it can go off the rails. And it can give you something. Like I said to AI, I said, hey, can you draw me a picture of Ultimate Warrior Sergeant Slaughter from Royal Rumble 91? Okay, it looks great. They got the cartoon. It's Royal Rumble 91. They got them staying there. Ultimate Warrior was wearing the Army hat. I'm like, what the hell? Come on. Well,
Yeah. I think they got a lot of bugs to work out in that AI stuff.
So I guess nobody double checked this and nobody did any due diligence. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I try to circle it there, but Dominic is there, and this is part of the AI. He's holding one title, and he's got the other title around his waist. The only thing is, if you zoom in, I won't have the capability of zooming in here, but and this is on the AAA page and on the video package itself. Nobody caught it. It's the AEW title.
AEW,
around his waist.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
Isn't that funny? Like nobody saw that or caught that until it was out there.
Well, once again, I guess you're kind of letting details slip by, and that's a shame.
I just thought that was so funny because I watched the video. I thought, man, that package was great, and then somebody posted a screenshot of it online. This is zoom in on the belt, and I looked in. I said, oh my god, it's not the AAA title; it's the AEW title.
Yeah. Well. They got what they got then.
You can't trust AI, right? They call it slop sometimes. You just kind of get whatever you get there. It's crazy.
Yeah, no kidding. That's why I don't use it.
You don't use it at all? Not a believer in AI?
No, I've just never used AI. I have no reason for it. Nothing gained from it.
Sometimes you ask it for stuff and it just goes off and on a tangent there. It's so weird.
That's why I don't ask her for anything. I don't want it to know. I don't want to get in that rhythm. I don't want to get in that gimmick.
You can also send it a picture if you don't know who a person is. Be like, oh, who is this person? And they'll give you back information. And most of the time they're wrong. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Because I send them a picture of somebody and they're like, that's famous actor, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's like, no, they're on a wrestling show. It's not a famous actor. I'm trying to zoom in. I'm like, who the hell is that in the background? And they're like, oh, that's this person. I'm like, no, it's not Kevin Spacey or whoever they said it was. I'm like, it's somebody from wrestling, you idiot. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Artificial intelligence. Highly overrated.
Yes. You need some common sense in there. And there is none for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Will you be checking out AAA at all as far as WWE is concerned?
Do I have to watch it on Fox Spanish?
No, you
Fox?
can check it. No, YouTube. I went to WWE's YouTube channel, watch it in English.
Unless I really there's something I really want to see, but I don't really follow AAA. No.
Do you know who's not? I wouldn't say booking it, but helping book it.
The Undertaker.
Isn't that interesting? Do you see that pairing matching up at all?
Well, I mean, when it comes to knowing the product, yes.
What does he know about Lucha Libre, though?
No, that's what I'm saying. They want Lucha Libre to become WWE Libre. You know, they can make it whatever they want to make it, and who knows better what the powers that be want than the Undertaker, and has an idea where to put guys and how to put them and what to do with them.
Crazy that when you look at Undertaker, right? I could never really see him. I know maybe it's more the character itself and kind of me being a fan, thinking in my own brain, like I can't see him being a bigwig. You know what I mean? Like he is obviously, but I can't see him in that wanting to be, you know, in that role.
Well, once you're in that role, I mean, I think it's just depends where you sit at the table once you're done wrestling. I mean, you sit on the right side or the left side, and it doesn't matter. You're still at the table you're always at. You're just in the ring. Now you're not in the ring. You're more behind the scenes and wherever it may be, because WWE is going to do things their way and want somebody in there to make sure it gets it done that way.
It seems like, just to me, it's like even Shawn Michaels from that perspective, like, man, I can't see him, like, because he was a main eventer. You know, you're a huge star. You don't really see him in that vein. It's not like Dusty, who was the same thing, but Dusty was always booking and he always was part of creative and stuff. Like Michaels, Undertaker. I mean, obviously Michaels melded into that role really well, and like Taker could, but just in my mind, it's not something I foresaw for those guys.
Well, once again, I mean, they're icons, pecans. They were iconic workers, and what better way to be serving the business after you're done working than to give back? And I think those guys are doing a great job of giving back. So no matter where they fit, or no matter what company they go to, they still have that reputation of being top guys, and they're drawing money. And who better than them knows the way the system works? They were in all the angles and all the business things and angles that went on during the Attitude Era, and some of the greatest matches of all time. I mean, that people still recall. So I think it was just a natural evolution, natural progress of things.
When you look at Undertaker, he loves Omos, and obviously Omos is becoming a big star for AAA. The crowd response to him, I mean, he always gets a good crowd response because it's always like, whoa. Even when I saw him years ago at MSG when he wasn't even on TV anymore, he got like a good pop coming out because he's huge. He's a monster. Like he seems to always get a pop. And he fought Lesnar a couple years ago at WrestleMania. He got a big pop. But man, he's getting like huge pops in AAA. I think they love like the freak show aspect of Omos.
Oh my God, yeah, I think they love the freak show aspect of all of it in Lucha Libre. I mean, you have the mask and the costumes and the angles and things like that. So yeah, I think they would love him.
I went down to Mexico a few times many years ago. Man, that is true about the culture. They got those masks on every damn corner. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. I love it. All that Lucha Libre stuff. I was like, man, this is so cool. You go into a bar, you see it. Good stuff. I just absolutely love that culture as far as the loving wrestling.
Well, it is a place to learn, and it is a place to learn how to be on top and control the crowd and tell a story. Even though Lucha Libre hardly tell stories, they go out there and do spots. But I think that's what WWE is trying to integrate into the organization, the company, and let it evolve from there. And having Taker there and whoever else they have helping him,
Jeremy
I think
Borash.
that okay. Well, then they have a plan. I think those guys know what the plan is.
One thing though, like the production value, it's like WWE level. I mean, it's like sleek and it looks good, and it's like, man, just it was a home run as far as that first episode of me watching it. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Well, they do things right. They really do.
And Rey Mysterio was a part of it. So, you get some obviously name value, some big names there. They do actually, when they have blood feuds and stuff, because I've been following Mexican wrestling God forever, been always watching, but when they have blood feuds and stuff, then they have stories and they really delve into, but I know what you mean. At the heart of it, a lot of the matches are just no tags and quick coming in and out now, but the crowd loves it.
Yeah, I went to Tijuana with MLW, I don't know, 4 years ago maybe, and it was it was a cluster.
But the crowd loves it.
Sure, that's what I'm saying. It's I don't know if it would translate over here as much. Maybe it would. Hell, I don't know, but the crowd did love it. That's for sure.
Certain areas of the country, I feel like are into it, like more of the Spanish-speaking areas of the country. They get it here, meaning, but some places I don't think they'll be into Lucha Libre.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste. I think it really is.
Now you go from that end of the spectrum as far as great production value, then you go to the TNA on AMC debut. Not so much. I feel like I thought we might get WWE level production value from them. We definitely did not. I don't know if you happen to see any of that.
I did not.
Very interesting. Like just the way it was shot, like you could tell, like, okay, AAA, this is WWE production. Like it just looks like a 4K, like or whatever. Beautiful cameras, just pristine. This didn't really have that feel to it. Almost kind of had that old smoky feel to it. Like it didn't look terrible, but it's like, man, this is kind of like a little not outdated, but it just didn't feel like it was up to snuff, like when you watch NXT or WWE or something like that, or even AEW.
Where did they shoot it from? What city were they in?
Curtis Caldwell Center down in Texas.
Oh, what part of Texas?
Where the heck is that? Good question.
I don't know.
Let's look that up. I want to find out. But it was just interesting, like just I don't know, the way that they shot it. I just feel like it wasn't Garland, Texas. Garland, Texas.
Okay. Is that outside of Dallas, maybe? Because I'm not sure where that's at.
I thought it was kind of near Dallas, Fort Worth. Let's see how far.
That's around Dallas, yeah.
Is a suburb located northeast of Dallas, part of the Fort Worth, Dallas Metroplex, known for its strong manufacturing base, vibrant downtown, and convenient access to major highways.
So
it is close.
Yeah.
So it is close.
Having convenient access to highways in Dallas, because that's crazy.
So I think the building, I would say, holds probably 3,500. No, more than that. Probably 4,500, somewhere around there. Maybe 4,000 or so. The building definitely, they had about 3,000 for the first show. They had a pay-per-view or a PLE. A few nights later, they actually did almost 4,000 for that. So it was interesting that the debut show didn't do as much as the Genesis PLE show either.
Yeah.
So kind of interesting.
Yeah, kind of interesting. I don't really have a chance to watch TNA too much, so I'm not sure what they have going on there. And
there's a lot of wrestling on now.
Yeah, there is.
Every day of the week. Literally every day of the week. It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember when it was every Saturday afternoon and then every Saturday night. So
those were the days.
Yeah, it ain't yesterday no more, that's for sure.
As Archie Bunker would say, those are the days. Little All in the Family, if you ever watched that. It was kind of interesting just the way it was done. There's only 3 matches in the 2 hours, and they did AJ Styles came out. Obviously, he talked about, the history of TNA and his history with them. But they go and they have a women's title match. So they only have 3 matches. They have a women's title match. They cut the commercial with no prompting from the announcers. And when they came back from commercial, there was new champions crowned. So I was like, wow, it's a huge production snafu right then and there. It's like, wow, what in the world happened with that? And it felt like there's so many commercials on AMC.
Wow. Well, I don't know who's booking that, but maybe they ought to look into it.
Whose fault is that? Like, that's got to be the truck, right? Not relaying it to the announcers.
Well, I'm sure there's a lineage to go down, but yeah, probably the truck, because they're the ones keeping time and official time, and then cutting away and coming back. So they should be giving the ins and outs from the truck, but I guess they didn't.
Do you think that's inexcusable though? Like to cut away from a match and you come back and there's new champs?
Well, yeah, unless it's explained. Did they explain what happened when they came back?
Not really. They kind of quickly were like almost in like hurry up mode or something. They were like trying to get to the next thing. It was kind of like a weird way to go about it. And even before the match, they had this long thing with that guy Perez Hilton, where they're like kind of poking fun at like people and saying they're better than that. It was really, really like odd, very strange.
They had Perez Hilton there.
Yeah, you remember him?
Yes, I remember him. Why would they have Perez Hilton there?
He was a part of like the Elegance brand, like their heel, like kind of model faction group that they've got going. But it was weird. They kind of touted him beforehand like he was like this big celebrity.
I don't think Perez Hilton's been relevant for years, has he?
No. And he looks different too. I guess he lost a ton of weight or whatever, but yeah, he looks different.
Well, maybe TNA will do it for him then.
That was weird. It's like, wow, you waste so much time on that you go to the match and they cut the match, like as far as the commercials, and we don't get to see that. They should have cut the promo beforehand and then just show the whole match.
Well, obviously they think it's more important to get the pseudo former celebrity to get his spotlight.
Yeah. And then they had other celebrities on the show, Dark Winds, which is on AMC. So they were trying to do a crossover. So they cut to them, and it's where the camera is on the on the one side where they're filming. So there's so many empty seats because the camera's set up. You don't want any fans around the seats, and that's where they sat them, and they're shooting it. So they're shooting the celebrities, and all you see is empty seats behind them.
Oh, great!
It's like huge, like another snafu, another big production mistake.
Well, once again, I don't know who's running TNA right now and who's booking it, but yeah, they need to look at that kind of stuff.
Tommy Dreamer and Delirious, if you remember
those
guys.
Sure I do. Well,
and Carlos Silva is the president.
I don't know Carlos Silva, but I guess
corporate guy.
Sure. Well, corporate guys in wrestling has always got along.
Oh, for sure. It's just so like weird. It's like, okay, like you would think that when you're kind of planning out beforehand, like, all right, these guys need to be here and the crowd will be behind them and like kind of set it up that way. They they decided not to do that. So you kind of saw all these empty seats. So it was weird. It was like, okay, this is awesome. AJ Styles here. And then you got the mistake. Oh, I actually liked the main event, Santana Kazarian. I thought it was good. But then they had cut off their entrances before that. So you cut to commercial. They came right back with like no prompting and boom, the bell rang and they started wrestling. I was like, wow, that was interesting.
Well, obviously their production meetings aren't as detailed as WWE's or some others, but yes. I think that's something that unless somebody brings attention to it, it's not going to get fixed. So somebody needs to be looking at it with a more critical eye, I would assume.
And speaking of production meetings, did you know AEW supposedly does not do production meetings? Do you think that could be a bit of a mistake there?
Well, I think it's important for everybody to know what important elements are going to be taking place in the show, and some guys, some commentators, used to like to fly blind and just look at the monitor and call it as is. But I mean, if you're a producer, then you need to have a production meeting if you're going to be taking care of a match. Otherwise, you're going to have to, I guess, wonder or figure out on your own what's happening in the match, and somebody's got to be leading this charge. And if AEW doesn't have production meetings, I don't know how they get anything done. But yeah, I think that's something that's very important, so everybody knows what they're doing and they're on the same page.
Bit of a spending spree as well for AEW. They signed at least 12 or 13 new talent so far in 2026. Do you think might be overload? Is that too much?
I didn't even know there was 12 or 13 talents out there available.
Oh yeah. Well, they took the Rascals. There were 4 guys from TNA, so there was guys to take too. Jake Doyle too was Jake something in TNA wrestling. So basically, it took about 5 guys from TNA. Zeta Steele, she was a former WBID talent. So there was some talent out there to take. Andrade, by the way, is back. He was out there for the taking. He cleared it up with his lawyer, so he's back. So a bit of a spending spree there for AEW.
Well, hopefully things will change for them then. Hopefully they get some momentum going.
Interestingly enough, one of the Rascals, Trey Miquel, got released right after he got signed.
No, I don't understand what that was about. I just saw the headline, but obviously he did something or said something.
So this was interesting. So everyone just assumed he was taking time away for, even a friend of mine who was like following the situation. He's like, oh, I think he might be taking personal time away. Something must have happened. A random wrestling website pulled up an old conversation that he had with former wrestler David Starr, who got in trouble for the Me Too and the speaking out stuff. So apparently this is from 2018, 2019. So we're talking about 7, 8, 9 years ago, whatever. We're talking, back then, this thing kind of popped up again and he got released. So I was thinking, like, that can't be true. But Trey Miquel went on social media and basically said it was true and that he's different than he was then. He apologized. Apparently, there was a lot of stuff about the J word. David Starr obviously is of Jewish, so he was going hard in on him about that. So something, whatever. So David Starr actually recently, somebody pulled it up on Facebook. He actually wrote that Trey Miquel, he's apologetic about it. That was 8 or 9 years ago. Time has passed. He's a different guy now. He's matured and all this other stuff. But still, they released him anyway. And Trey Miquel basically kind of copped to it, but that said he's learning and getting better each day. Do you think you should get released for something you said 8 years ago online?
Well, here's the problem. Anything you say or put on your Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever it is going to follow you forever, because I guess that digital footprint or whatever it's called,
it
is impossible to erase. So somebody's going to find something, and you should always be thinking, I mean, what's going to come back to haunt me? And I'm sure a lot of people are thankful that there weren't cell phones around in the 80s or earlier 70s and stuff like that with all the shenanigans going on. And it's unfortunate, but that's what people use when they want evidence to show that you're a horrible person. And if you were a horrible person back then, I guess they figure you're capable of being one now. So right, wrong, or indifferent, I see a lot of guys put stuff on their social media that I'm just wondering, what the hell are they thinking? They're in a small company now, and if they ever want a chance or think they have a chance, to get picked up by a larger company like AEW or WWE, well, they need to be careful and they need to strategize a little bit, because it will come back to haunt you. And whether it's 8 years or 80 years, man, we see it all the time. People who Russell Brand is feeling it again too. People accusing him of things, and so all they have to judge you on is what people judge on, is social media, and so much of that is just such garbage and such unnecessary drama. That's why I prefer to stay out of it. But I think it's obviously a necessary evil today in wrestling and entertainment, because you want your brand and your angle out there. So if you're going to do it, you better be able to maneuver around the swamps and the landmines that are out there, because there sure are a lot of them out there. You're just waiting for you to step on them.
No doubt. Changing gears here to WWE again, I want to go back. Cody Rhodes, obviously the former WWE champion. We were talking last week how he lost to Drew McIntyre in the best 2 out of 3 falls match in Germany. Interesting to note, Cody supposedly is the one that kind of was all for it and wanting to lose to Drew. Does that make sense to you? Do you think, are you buying that? Is that accurate, do you think?
Well, when Cody gets the title back again, I'm sure eventually he will, or I would suppose eventually he will. It adds to the drama. It would make him a 3-time WWE World Champion or WWE Champion. And yeah, I think he wants to add to his legacy. And sometimes you got to lose to know how to win, and it gives him something to strive for and fight for and focus on, and keep finding a way to get screwed and resituated and come back and maybe win the title back again. But who knows? Somebody may get hot in the meantime and come along and find a better way. Don't know.
So he wanted to kind of like freshen things up, and I guess Triple H obviously was in agreement because he freshened things up and Drew's a champion because he felt there's more options, more way to go, more unpredictability. WrestleMania, oh, bless you, WrestleMania is not until basically April, mid to late April, so you have a little bit more time. So I mean, they got time to kind of get him back in the title picture, if you will, title scene. But I guess he thought it would freshen things up, and Triple H agreed that he thought it would freshen up things heading into WrestleMania 42.
Yeah, by all means. And I'm glad that guys are thinking that way these days. It just adds to the story, and it adds to the Drew McIntyre legend and myth, and Cody Rhodes as well. So I think it was a great idea, and I'm glad Cody was on board.
Do you think it adds more intrigue just as far as more directions to go with when Drew is the champion?
Well, I think when you have a heel champion, I know there's no heels on babyface these days, but Drew is more of a heel than a babyface, unless he's in Glasgow. So I think you got all kind of directions when the heel controls the title and controls the destiny, and this is the underdog babyface fighting this massive champion and Drew. So yeah, I think it does give him a lot more directions to go in.
Does it mean that he won't be a main event of WrestleMania, even though he's the top guy? He still will be somehow, some way, you would think, right?
You're talking about Drew or Cody?
No, Cody.
Yeah, I think Cody will be in the main event at WrestleMania. I do. I think that's what they're building up to, or will be building up to.
Any idea who we will be wrestling?
No, man, because there's a lot of wild cards right now. I heard Javon Evans got hurt Monday. Was it Monday on Raw? Where he hurt his shoulder? And you got a lot more new guys coming up. And I don't know. I don't have a clue what the match will be at WrestleMania yet.
That's an interesting thing, too, because sometimes that could be bad, but sometimes I feel like that could be good because it makes it fresh. It's like, well, what the hell's the card for me? We have no idea, which is kind of good because it makes me kind of want to make sure I watch the Rumble, watch Elimination Chamber, like, make sure I'm keeping up.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that does give the idea and does give the fans and the people, the ones who love wrestling, it gives everybody a different view. And again, I remember when Kofi got hot during his time, and they put the title on him, because it was just the right thing to do. And it was organic, and you never know who's going to get hot and who might be the next superstar. Gunther is running. He's still got plenty of gas in his tank. And so now he's going to be wrestling AJ. Is it this Saturday or at the Rumble? No, it's at the Rumble.
Rumble. Yep.
Yeah, he's put up his career. So
high stakes.
Yeah. And whoever comes along next, they want to be ready.
Also, another fresh matchup for Cody. He's wrestling Jacob Fatu at Saturday night's main event. He's pissed that Jacob cost him the WWE World Title, basically in that cage match against Drew. He distracted Cody, and Drew snuck out of there. So that's a pretty cool, fresh matchup. I know they had, I think, one match, but it was a dark match. Nobody saw it a couple of years or a year ago or so. But that, to me, wow, that's a fresh matchup. I wonder what direction they'll go on that one.
Yeah, it is. I'd be anxious to see how Jacob is recovered.
because Drew said he will not give Cody a rematch. That was a part of the agreement of Cody wrestling him and him agreeing to do it. So interesting little wrinkle there. He doesn't get his automatic rematch. So he has to either win the Elimination Chamber or the Rumble, and he's going to have to go through Jacob Fatu first to get there. So at least that's an interesting little wrinkle they're throwing out there, something different.
Yeah, it's not the same old thing. So, yeah, I think that's great. They're doing a fine job of building Cody's legacy and his reputation.
Now, before we get to this week in Dr. Tom history, just an interesting, weird little tidbit I saw. So Mark Merrow posts all the time, like old pictures and old info and all this stuff just from his career, kind of like reminiscing and kind of just leading you through his career, what he did, what happened, he feuded with Steve Austin, WCW, feuded with WWF, and he'll put pictures up and stuff. So recently he put up a picture of his 2019 WWE royalty payment, like his statement from them. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is 7 years old as far as the statement is concerned, but he just posted this recently. And basically he was saying they put it into a couple categories, like what basically revenue he pulled in for the company and then what his royalty payment is. I don't know what the math is to get there. And I was trying to figure out, I think it was like less than like 5% or like 0.5%. It was crazy that the math on it. So he was responsible. I mean, he obviously even said, he goes, it was 30 years later. I hadn't been in the company that long, but it said in this document, you could clearly read it. It says he was responsible for basically $40,000 in revenue. So it's like, oh, interesting. Okay. All these years later, he's responsible for $40,000. Okay. I wonder what royalty payment, $71.
Right.
That's all they gave him. It's like, what?
Right.
What the hell kind of math is that?
Corporate math. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe it. I thought that was astounding. That math sounded about right to you.
Well, everybody gets a royalty payment. Everybody gets the big white envelopes every quarter whenever they come out, whatever it is. And I've seen other people's royalty payments, and I know what my royalty payments are, and that sounds about right.
I was just like astonished because I'm like, wow, okay, he wasn't there for that long, but still, a couple of years, and okay, he created this revenue. They proved the revenue. That's all they gave him. It's like, wow, that kind of a little unfortunate.
Yeah, a little bit, but that was the way it was. It still is, I think. I don't know because I haven't seen a contract in a long time, so obviously I don't know.
So as far as the Dr. Tom This Week in History, let's go all the way back to 1984. Portland, PNW at the sports arena there. You versus Mike Miller end in a time limit draw. What did you think about old Mean Mike?
I like Mean Mike. I've liked Mean Mike for years, even before I got to Oregon. And Oregon was a place you could go if you were just starting out or ending your career, or if it was just a place you wanted to hang for a little bit. And Mike hung there for a while. He did what we called homestead for a while. But I always liked Mike Miller. He's a great guy. Great to be in the ring with, hell of a worker, and just the kind of guy you wanted to be in there with. And again, Oregon and Washington, the Pacific Northwest, you got a lot of reps, 5 to 6 days a week, and short trips. And while it was dreary and rainy and cold at times, it was beautiful mountains and nice buildings to work in. You weren't going to get rich, but you could make a living and enjoy yourself in Oregon. So Mike was one of those guys. He was one of those pillars of Portland wrestling that you could count on to do anything. And he really was a hell of a worker.
Next up, we have of course, Smoky Mountain Wrestling tag team title match from 1994, Mulberry Street Rec Center in Lenoir, North Carolina for Smoky Mountain. It was the tag title match. Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express, defeated the Heavenly Bodies. You and the Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey by a DQ. You retained the tag team titles. Man, almost every week we talk about you guys wrestling. I mean, it's almost too much that you guys wrestle.
Well, the Rock and Roll Express, it was that was a program that was going to be the main program, especially in the beginning. So, but it was, man, it was night because every night was a night off of those guys. And, I've heard people talk about there's some people like it more snug than others, and you have to be snug at times, no doubt about it. But for the most part, the object is not to get hurt, not to hurt the guy you're in or people you're in there working with. So these guys, Ricky and Robert, were pros, and I'd like to think that Jimmy and myself were pros too, and went out and had hell of matches every night, and they were fun to work with.
Next up, 1996, the WWF World Tag Team Title match, Royal Rumble 96 from the Selland Arena in Fresno, California. The tag team champions, the Smoking Guns, defeated the Body Donnas, Skip and Zip, 11 minutes, 15 seconds. Man, do you remember Rumble 96?
No, I don't, but I blocked all that out of my mind anyway.
You don't even remember Shawn Michaels winning the Royal Rumble, huh?
Yeah, no. Like I said, I blocked the Body Donna era out of my mind.
What about the Smoking Guns? What do you think about those crazy?
Well, I got along with the Guns. I got along with Billy and Bart, and I think they understood that we understood what we were there for, and we had no problem doing that. So, I mean, of course, we're going to go out and give those guys a good match and do our best to get them over, and that was what it called for at that time. So, but they were good guys. Billy at the time wasn't working out too much, but that's obviously changed over the years. Looks great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting too, like the Smoking Guns, kind of like a cheesy, the way they were presented, like they could have been like cool cowboys or like, maybe like vicious heels, but they were kind of like cheesy with the fake shooters and everything.
Yeah, but things were cheesy back then, especially at that time. Again, look at the Smoking Guns opponents. That was the cheesiest gimmick I've ever seen.
I tend to agree. It was not the best gimmick in the world.
Not at all. No, it sucked.
And then finally, randomly, 2006 here, AWA Pinnacle event called House Call from the Havoc Haven in Pacific, Washington. It was an elimination match. Team Prichard versus Team James, your old buddy. So it's Dave Hollenbach and the Stampede Bulldogs of Harry Smith and TJ Wilson and yourself and Twist, defeating Team James of Bo James, Hostile, Jack Evans, and Rolling Too Deep, which was Cadillac Kalis and the Wild Card. Some pretty awesome names, by the way, in that match. Harry Smith, obviously, we know him very well. That's Davey Boy's son. D.H. Smith, if you will. He's awesome. T.J. Wilson is awesome. Jack Evans is the man. And, of course, Bo, your boy. What a interesting yet odd matchup here.
Yeah.
Any recollection that you and Bo James had a feud in Portland?
Well, it wasn't a feud. It was just a match. It was right. We did a seminar, I think, earlier that day, then worked that night, and just a bunch of young guys who that was my first meeting of those guys, some of those guys. And I mean, I just recall it was a decent show, and went out there and told the story.
Man, what a match there! The Stampede Bulldogs, the young Stampede Bulldogs, there in 2006, yeah. And obviously Jack Evans, the young Jack Evans in 2006.
Yeah,
Harry's still going, obviously, and then Jack Evans still going.
I think I met Becky Lynch there too for the first time at that seminar. Yeah, she reminded me the last time I saw Becky here in Knoxville. She reminded me that she did the seminar in the Northwest, and told me I said a few things that I don't remember saying, but I mean, that's why you have to be careful what you say when you're teaching and giving advice, because I obviously told her a few things that sunk in and stayed with her, but that's how it was back then, is everybody was trying to get booked wherever they could get booked and get their names out there, and she was up there at the time. So
Oh, that's another name for the resume that I didn't realize. Becky Lynch, throw her on the
Mhm.
resume as well.
Yeah,
And her husband, Seth Rollins, could throw him on the resume.
sure.
And you have a deep resume as far as guys and gals that you've trained.
I think that and maybe 15 cents. No, that won't get me anything. So, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that puts you over Stu Hart as far as being one of the
No, I'll
best
never
men.
be over Stu Hart. No. Stu's still going to be number one.
Or like Eddie Sharkey or something. I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, those two guys will be in a league of their own. That's for sure.
All right, so that is this week in Dr. Tom History. Let's wrap this bad boy up and head towards the plugs. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at 2Man Power Trip. How about you, Dr. Tom?
You can contact me at the Dr. Tom Prichard at gmail.com if you're looking for seminars or appearances or anything else.
And you got Portland coming up, right?
Portland's coming up in February, yes.
Nice big convention going on in Portland. I love it.
Yes, let me just say that the date. I thought I had the date, but I don't. No, it's on the other tab, so I don't know what to do with it.
Remember, didn't I look it up last week? The Portland wrestling.
I don't know. I don't remember if you did or not.
I think I did. The Portland Wrestling Expo. There we go. I did. February 21st, and that'll be at the Holiday Inn at the Portland Airport. Captain's Corner, the Portland Wrestling Expo 2 will be going on. Ken Patera will be there as well. Dave Sullivan, that's a really rare one. The Grappler, the Godfather, that's a pretty big name. Got some, they got some good stuff there. Jules Strongbow as well, who's very, very rare. Paul Ellering will be there. Rip Rogers will be there. Gorgeous Joey Jackson. And then, of course, there were a little bit of a Hall of Fame and a tribute to the Grappler and Playboy Buddy Rose. So check out the Pro Wrestling Expo, pwexpo.com, for all information and ticket information on how you can go and see Dr. Tom in Portland. So good stuff.
So it'll be a fun time.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody out there, for listening. We'll see you right back here next week for a little Take It to School with Dr.